did somebody come to you and go, Kurt, let's lose the hair. We've got an idea of how we're going to do it. Or did you go, all right, because look, I mean,
Yep.
I've been there. You look in the mirror one day and you go, it's time to go.
Yep.
Did you? Yeah.
What happened was I knew I was losing my hair.
Sure.
So Vince came to me and said, listen, I don't know if you know it, but you're losing your hair. That's what he said. I said, I think I know, Vince. He said, well, I want to have a hair versus hair match against Edge.
Yeah.
You against Edge. And obviously Edge will win and he'll shave your head.
Yeah.
I said, that's cool, Vince. I'm fine with that. He goes, well, I just want you to have a better look because you are going bald. But he said, listen, don't tell Edge. I said, why not? He goes, well, I'm going to tell him he's losing and that you're going to shave his head. And so when we told Edge, he had this boo-boo face. He wanted to cry. And it was like, he pulled me aside and said, listen, I don't know how I'm going to look bald. My head is really ugly. I said, I'm sorry, Edge, but I'm gonna have to shave that head at the pay-per-view. And he
Boss's
was so
orders.
upset. And then the day of the pay-per-view, we still didn't tell him. And he's up in the rafters and he's like all depressed and I'm like telling Vince, look up at the rafters. He's way up there. He won't come down. And he's like, well, I'll tell him in a few minutes. So he ended up breaking the Edge, and Edge, ended up getting happy at that time.
Yeah.
And then he eventually won and shaved his head. But what a rib to put on Edge.
It's so great because he still remembers it because he was down here sitting where you're sitting going, yeah, they told me that I was going to lose and I was worried about losing all my hair. The guy still has a perfect head of hair. He should never shave it.
I know. And we were going to, Vince would just, that's how Vince was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting though, because like with that, you end up going aesthetically goofy right after that because you do the old like Buddy Rogers with the wig and the headgear.
Yeah.
But also you start transitioning. I feel like that is when you kind of really started to make that transition into, all right, it's time to show everybody what a badass
the wrestling machine.
Yeah, the wrestling machine.
Yeah, that was the time.
Yeah.
That's when Vince, even though he's like, listen, I know you're doing some crazy ass stupid shit, but we need the fans to start taking you more seriously.
Yeah.
And I was like, Vince, I love doing the funny stuff. He said, well, we're not going to do it much longer. And we didn't, unfortunately, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it because it was getting me over.
Right.
And Vince felt that the fans weren't taking me seriously anymore, and I thought they were. But for some reason, Vince didn't agree, and he decided from, after that wig thing, I didn't do anything goofy or stupid.
That's the end.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And then I became the wrestling machine. I was taken more seriously.
Yeah.